Out back the shack. Actually, I'm behind the shop. My name's Anthony. This is my shop. This is my channel. Working on, I think it's a 2010 f150 with auto lock 4-wheel drive. And a little knob on your dashboard that says 2-wheel, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low. If you're watching this, you may be interested in how that actually works at the wheels, and you may be chasing a problem. You could be hearing a rattling during acceleration, and I'm going to explain what that's about. And it's very, very similar to a time and chain rattle, exhaust shield rattle, engine rattle, a bunch of different rattles. So the sound, a lot of sounds in a vehicle, some of them sound very similar. Like a chopped tire sounds like a wheel bearing. A wheel bearing could sound like a chopped tire. An exhaust rattle, could sound like engine noising or pinging, or timing chain rattle, or transmission or transfer case. So it's really hard for us sometimes to get, get everything taken care of when sounds are masked by other sounds. But let's keep moving forward. I'll show you the vehicle it's apart, but I'm going to show you, I have the hub bearing apart. This vehicle came in with a squeaking noise while accelerating. I actually got it to make noise in between gears and hitting the brakes, and the wheel was actually like just hitting the brakes. It was just flexing all over the place. So let me show you what's going on here. Anyway, so this is the vacuum hub actuator. It's vacuum control, meaning engine vacuum is supplied to a vacuum switch that the ECM or the switch on your dashboard is commanded. What happens is that this thing is under constant vacuum, and what it's doing is holding this. I'll show you how it goes on the car. You can get it to slide on. Okay, so right now, when it's pushed in, it's engaged. Am I saying that right? Disengaged under vacuum, and then engaging when the vacuum is cut. Okay, so you can see this. So under vacuum, if we apply vacuum to this, and we're gonna test it. Give me a second. And the reason why I'm replacing the actuator with the hub bearing is because the bearing was worn out, and it was causing the axle to wear around, plus the age. So multiple reasons why to do this. Rather have it dialed in right the first time when I work on it, than him come back in the wintertime and say, hey, my 4-wheel drive's not working, or hey, I have a rattling and clicking ever since you worked on a car, with the customer not realizing that your hub bearing was bad, the actuator was worn out, and if I don't advise the right repairs, it could wind up being a comeback, and we're trying to avoid comebacks, and we're going to advise the right repairs. So this is a vacuum gauge. I'm applying vacuum to it. Ready? So this should hold that vacuum, and then watch what happens. I'm going to take my hands off of it, and you're going to watch the vacuum gauge bleed off. All right, so we pump it up some more for you to see. You can just watch the gauge fall right off. So these go bad, for one, and then nothing worse than you working on something and then it failing as soon as you work on it. So based on the age, the damage that went on from the hub bearing, and then the axle rolling around back here. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do, is eliminate a comeback, advise the right services, make sure the customer doesn't have a problem on the wheel we're working on. I advise doing the passenger side at the same time. It just wasn't in the budget to do both wheel bearings and both 4x4 vacuum actuators. And like I said, once the vacuum bleeds off on some of these cars, this gear slides out and tries to engage with this and makes a clanking noise. And then when you accelerate, right, it's dropping vacuum, and then when you come off the accelerator pedal, it's adding vacuum. And if this is just not holding the vacuum, this gear engagement makes a rattling and clanging noise constantly while you're driving. And that's the auto lock is trying to engage So if you have a rattling noise coming from your left front wheel and it's not suspension, or you did the brakes wrong, or a strut, or your wheel falling off, you need to look closer to the wheel bearing and the actuator. And a simple way to troubleshoot that is if you is go up to the firewall where the VSV valve is, that's vacuum switching valve. You'll see two vacuum lines going into a plastic solenoid like this. Pull those lines off, listen for the one hissing, plug it. Go take your car for a ride. If you don't hear the rattling and clanking anymore, it's coming from your four-wheel drive actuators. And then you need to check your wheel bearings, and if they're old, you should just change them anyway. And then you want to actually check the vacuum lines too to make sure that there's no breaks or cracks or somebody was in there before you. And then, like I said, this bearing was so wiped out, you can see this wobbling here. And that's, yeah, it was really worse on the car, but that should not have all that movement in it. That's why we did that. This piece actually bolts behind the knuckle where the axle slides through, and the only thing that's locking that in is clink. That's locking your hub in and saying, hey, we're four-wheel drive now. Clink. Or clink, or two-wheel drive. Clink, we're four-wheel drive. Clink, two-wheel drive. Ready? Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. Vacuum's holding it off. Vacuum drops. It engages. Just like a transmission almost. I'll show you the undercar since Jude wants to get out here. Are you just going to walk right in my way?
Yeah.
Jude was saying, thank God that Caleb's not here because he got tired of listening to all the jungle music, he said. Here's the F150 four-wheel drive. These are the vacuum lines that go to that hub. Pretty simple method of checking it. Make sure you clean all the old road debris and grime out of here. Lubricate it with some fresh grease when you put it back together. I don't know if I have any parts. Like I said, the customer is only doing one side today. 2 tires, brakes, oil change, just set the toe. And then we said, hey, if the other side starts to act up, you already know where you're at, where you just knock it out and be ahead of it. And I know someone's going to say, oh, that brake hose is crying. It's not that bad, y'all. It ain't that bad. Been doing it for years like that. Actually, 30-something years.